Hi guys, Romans here and welcome to another music review. I review every album from a viewpoint of a musician as I am a singer, songwriter and a bass player for my own group Jakobe. And 2 years ago we released our debut album called Pursuits in Life. What makes it unique is that it's a heavy prog rock without guitars. Instead you have drums, bass, saxophone and keyboards. You can check out all of our music videos on my YouTube channel. And in the description of all these videos you will find all the information about where is the record available. It's available on all digital platforms like Spotify, Tidal, Deezer, iTunes, Amazon, Bandcamp, but also in this digipack version of a CD with a very beautifully illustrated 20 pages long booklet. So in case you want one, all you need to do is contact me via an email, on Facebook or on Instagram, or you can get one through Bandcamp. And today I'm going to review the latest album from Code Orange, Underneath.
Music review.
First of all, I know I'm like 3 months late to this review and there are already too many of them on YouTube, but I guess none of them includes audio samples, which makes my review the most interesting one. And actually the first time I heard about this band was when they released this album Underneath, which is actually their third album. I think it came out in March. And many of the metal sites and like Facebook pages about metal were commenting on that, and it was like a metal event of that month. And I checked one of the music videos for that album on YouTube. I didn't really like it. I was like, okay, this is not really a music for me, end of the story. And then a friend of mine asked me if I was going to do a review of this album for him. And I was like, well, I'm not really planning to. And he was like, give it a chance. It's a great album, and boy was he right. I really love this album, and my channel is all about promoting records and bands and music I really love, so that's why I decided to do this review, even though I'm risking having very few views for a lot of hours of work, but whatever. As of now I've heard this album 10 times, let's dive right into it. The album opens up with Deeper Than Before, which is this eerie, dark electronic intro that really sets the tone of the album. And also there's this like digital noise at the end, which is very unsettling. The next track, Swallowing the Rabbit Hole, I really like the use of harmonics in the riffs, even though they're not very harmonic in how they're used. That's what makes it interesting. There's also this part where, for the lack of better term, I can't really describe it as anything else than a glitch. Basically, the song is going, then suddenly there's a stop, like a CD is scratched or something. The song starts again, it like skips, and then starts again for the third time. And I think it makes for a very out of place moment, but at the same time very interesting moment. And there are many of these sort of glitches on the album. Of course, they are not glitches per se, they were intentionally made like that from a production point of view. And when I was listening to this album I was like, okay, how are they gonna pull it off live? And they actually pulled it off. Of course it doesn't really sound like that live, it sounds more natural, but yeah, they can do it. Next we have In Fear, where we hear riffs mixed with electronics. There are also some calmer but equally sinister parts with very cool orchestration. Despite the fact that there are no melodies in these first couple of tracks, they are still very interesting to listen to. And there's also this like a digital scream at the end of the song, which is just really scary. Another track is You and You Alone, which is another headbanger. And there's even a melodic part, and I like how first three tracks are very similar, but they also transition into each other very smoothly. Who I Am is a very melodic, almost like alternative metal song with melodic female vocals. And these tracks make for a great variety, and maybe it's mainly because of these songs that I was actually enjoying this album. And the whole track has a very like early 2000s vibe. With Cold Metal Place, we go back to that heaviness of the first three tracks, and I especially like that mid section, which is again very digital, and it kind of like slows down and breaks the whole song and the whole groove. Another melodic piece is Sulfur Surrounding, and again we have female vocals here, which are great. And when I heard the track for the first time, I actually thought that it was the singer from Answer Shikari in the chorus, with all those gritty, overdriven vocals. But no, it's actually the female singer and the guitar player from the band, and she's really amazing as a singer. I saw their live stream, and she pulled it off. There's also this, and I'm going to use the word again, digital break, production-wise in the middle, and I think it's really great. The Easy Way is another melodic song, but this time with male vocals, and it's like electronic metal at its best. And also it's a very punchy song. Erasure Scan is pretty much in the style of the first three tracks, but the moment that sticked with me the most is the ending, where we hear like this horror part which just keeps restarting, and yeah, it's really interesting. Last Ones Left is probably the biggest headbanger of the album, and despite not having any melodies, the chorus is extremely catchy. Autumn and Carbine again makes use of the raspier female vocals, and to a certain degree her performance reminds me of a German metal band Rage. The singer kind of uses a similar technique when he sings. Back Inside a Glass is another heavy song, but nothing we really haven't heard so far. A Silver is another atmospheric, melodic, modern metal with a really great mid-section. And the final track and the title track Underneath kind of seems to sum up the whole record, because you hear the extreme vocals, the melodic vocals, that chromatic melody especially is very cool.
Under the black and inside the blue, our both expel as washed away.
And also some electronic elements, so it seems like all of these elements clash together in the final track. To sum up, I really enjoy this album. I think that I felt about this album kind of the same way how I felt about System of a Down when I discovered them in like mid 2000s. Like, they were crazy, they were over the top, and they were doing stuff in a way no other band was. And I kind of feel the same way about Code Orange. They are like this prototype of a modern digital metal band. It's like, really, that's how I would call it. It's like, it's, you know, generally it's like industrial metalcore, but it's made in such a digital way that this really sounds like metal of the 21st century, and more specifically of 2020. Have you heard this album already? You can let me know in the comment section below whether you agreed or disagreed with me. If you are already a Code Orange fan, you can let me know how well do you think it compares to their previous two albums, because I haven't heard them so far, so maybe which one should I go to next. You can follow me on Facebook or on Instagram. You can find links to both in the description of this video below. If you like this review, don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe. You can check out my own original music. I think you're gonna really like it. My live performances, my worst to best series, and quite a lot of other reviews as well. Thanks a lot for watching.